How's it going, folks? Welcome back. We here again. Time to start up again. Got a good show planned for you folks today. It's been a long day. Work was a little long today. Didn't get started at 2 or 3 o'clock, the times that I'm trying to regularly stream at. But we are here nonetheless. Got some good things to talk about for you. How you folks doing? Hope everybody's having a great day. All right. Let me get right into it. Today, well, my name is Kenny T. This is Knocked Out by Kenny. Thank you for tuning in if you are here watching. Today, I'm going to jump right into it. Lots of good conversations. I'm going to save the best conversations for last, which is going to be the WBA getting rid of their WBA regular straps. They're doing work to get rid of them straps. They should have never been introduced to begin with, but whatever. That's pretty much everybody's opinion. And then the second to last topic will be Terrence Crawford and his lawsuit and the lawsuit he currently has going on against Top Rank. But currently, let's start with one of my favorites, one of my boys. So Michel La Zarza Ali Rivera. He's a 23-year-old Dominican boxer. From the Dominican Republic, they call him La Zarza Ali. Zarza is a place in DR where he is from. So he is saying he is Ali from that place in DR where he is from. That is his nickname. Salute, maestro. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for liking. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for commenting. I appreciate you like always. Javier Avila, what's good? How we doing? Salute, brother. Starting up, getting it going. But yeah, so we started with Michel Ali Rivera, the Dominican Ali, as I like to call him. So he signed a contract with Top Rank. He fights at the 135-pound division. He's a dude that I've been watching a lot in the past year or so. He's a Dominican boxer who looks very promising at the 135-pound division. So he inked the contract with Top Rank, which makes sense because Top Rank is the company. Excuse me, not Top Rank. That was complete verbal diarrhea. He signed the contract with PBC, which makes sense because PBC was the promotional company to bring him out and to make him known to people in the U.S. Nobody knew who Michel Ali Rivera was before PBC started putting him on some fight cards and people saw him on American TV. So you got to give PBC the props for that. Mi hermano causando pánico, maestro a boxing, is in the comments. Show him love. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my channel too. Shit. Subscribe to all HCP channels. We doing it big. We got a big year planned for you. We moving in a crazy direction and we accelerating at 100 miles an hour. There's no slowing anything down. Got to keep moving. Got to keep going. But back to Michel Ali Rivera. So he signed with PBC. He fights at 135-pound division. I bring him up because I wanted to discuss whether it's a good idea that he signed with the PBC and see who the PBC actually has in the 135-pound division. There's only one problem that I have. And when I go to the website and I look at their rankings, or not their rankings, the fighters that they have under their stable for the 135-pound division, it doesn't really seem clear because they have some people listed at 135 pounds that definitely 100% do not fight at 135 pounds anymore and aren't signed with PBC anymore either. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly so you guys can see what I'm looking at under the PBC website that it shows the 135 pounders. And then we could go ahead and discuss whether we feel that this is a best move for Michel Rivera. And yes, not everybody does know who Michel Ali Rivera is, but he is a promising young Dominican boxer that I enjoy watching fight, and I think he has a promising future in boxing if he doesn't move forward too quickly and seriously and continues taking his training very, very seriously. The guy has some very good footwork, some very good skills, a very good jab, has some power on him, and boxes very well. Seems to have very good conditioning on him. I think he's going to be a very, very promising fighter in the future. You could quote me on that. And yeah, I'm on the Michel Rivera hype train. But let me share my screen. Share screen. No audio is needed. All right. So here we go, right? We're on the PBC website. We're looking at the 135-pound fighters. So on the PBC, the first person that I see here is Isaac Cruz, but he's not even listed at 135. He's listed at 134, but he did fight his last fight at 135. I know he was fighting 130 pounds and below before. We'll see. I think that I don't know, whatever. He should do whatever makes him the most money. I don't really know too much about Pitbull Cruz, and I don't really think that he has too much of a promising future. Although Tank Davis put him in the spotlight. So we go down the list of 135-pound fighters. We see Gervonta Davis, 135. Okay, that's a good, promising fight for Michel Rivera, right? Big name, big money. Could get him a lot of fame. Austin Dooley, 26 years old, has 3 losses, 14 wins. Doesn't seem like it do much for Michel Rivera, who should be looking to fight better, more promising fighters, since he's at that point in his career where he could be a breakout star and start chasing belts and getting belts. He's a great looking prospect at this moment. So yes, Austin Dooley, 135. I don't even know if the guy fights at 135 anymore, but 14-3. Not a feasible opponent. Robert Easter. I could have swore I last saw Robert Easter fighting at 140, but they still have him here listed at 135. I thought that after he lost his last fight at 135, I don't remember to who it was. I could have swore that he moved up in weight to 140 and was fighting at 140-pound division, but PBC still has him listed as 135. Well, whatever. What the fuck just happened? Oh, I clicked on him. All right, let me go back one time. Pardon. Okay, so, oh no, it killed my rankings. Hold on, let me bring that back up for you. By weight class and scroll all the way to 135. All right, back to 135. So I don't think Robert Easter fights at 135 anymore. I think he fights at 140, if I'm corrected. Hey, what's good? Salute, Eileen. Salute everybody in the chat. We got Maestro A Boxing, Javier Avila, and Eileen. Salute. What's good, everybody? So continuing to move on, we got a 29-year-old Dennis Galarza, who's supposedly fights at 135, 16-4. Does not seem like a feasible opponent for Michel Rivera, an undefeated guy who's only trying to move up in the rankings. Yuriorkis Gamboa, 40-year-old washed-up Yuriorkis Gamboa, whose leg gave up in his last fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. The only reason why this could be a good fight for Michel Rivera is because of the name, and if Michel Rivera could knock out Yuriorkis Gamboa, then it could 100% be a situation where it's like, well, I knocked out Gamboa way faster. You barely knocked him out. He was still standing. You know, the ref gave you the knockout. The ref gave you the TKO. But if Michel Ali Rivera knocks him out clean, then he could claim that Michel Rivera is the better fighter, the more powerful fighter between him and Tank, and that could definitely be a fight. So Yuriorkis Gamboa could be a possible competitor, although he is semi-old and washed up, but only to get him the bigger fights, because Michel Ali Rivera, and the way that he's fighting, he seems like he can definitely be what you call it, a boogeyman type of dude in the future. It seems like a dude that people want to dodge because he seems very skillful, excuse me. D-Style Boxing, what's good? Salute to El Capitan of HCP. Maestro says, salute D-Style. Word, salute D-Style. HCP, let's do it. Let's keep on causing panic. Moving on, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is 34 years old. He hasn't fought at 135-pound division since I don't know when. I don't even know why they have him listed at 135 pounds. I don't think he's ever going to go back down to that weight. If he struggles at making 140 pounds, what makes people think that he's going to go back down to 135 pounds? I don't see that happening. Alejandro Luna, El Charro. I don't know this guy. I'm not going to say much about him because I don't know him. I'd have to do my research. I don't like just blindly, randomly talking about boxers that I don't know. Diego Magdaleno. I don't even know if this guy, if he still fights at 135, but I guess it could be. fight for him. Although I feel like at this point, Michel Rivera has potentially fought fighters on the same caliber as Magdaleno, or maybe not. It may be some well-known name. It could be somebody that he could fight, whatever. Off the ropes, boxing and MMA. Saludos. Shout out to everybody, man. Hope everybody's having an amazing day. Argenis Mendez, another Dominican fighter, 135 pounds, 25 wins, 7 losses, 3 draws. Not a feasible opponent. Anthony Peterson, hazardous, 38 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 24 KOs. I don't know this guy, so I'm not even going to talk about it. Ivan Redkach has not fought at 135 in forever. Didn't he fight Danny Garcia recently or something at 147? I don't know, but he hasn't fought at 135. So I don't know why they even have him listed here. Hackskill Lydell Rhodes, 27-4-1. I don't know the guy, but doesn't seem like a feasible opponent. Then we have the man, Michel La Salsa Ali Rivera from Florida, 135. Then we have Riley. I guess Riley has a big name in boxing. Yes, cool. I'm doing air quotes right now. Riley has a big name in boxing only because of the shit he talks, not because of his fighting record or anything that he's done in the boxing ring. So if they want to bring up Michel Rivera's popularity, that could definitely be one. But I'm gonna stop right here because it starts going up in weight. And now I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat. I'm gonna ask you guys in the chat to let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is that signing the PBC was a good thing for Michel Rivera to do? I definitely do not think so. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Depends how long the contract that he signed with the PBC is. Let me see if I even see this, if I could find out for how long it is, the contract. But yeah, it's depending how long the contract is, it could be a good or a bad thing in my opinion. If the contract isn't that long, it'll be great because he could, let's say, fight a Yuri Ortiz, then fight somebody else I saw, or fight Rolly first for a name, then fight a dude like Yuri Ortiz, which would get him potentially a fight against Tank, and then fight Tank and moonwalk out of the PBC. I don't know if that's the case of what is going to happen, but that is what I think he should happen. I don't think that that's going to happen actually, because he's a third world country dude that came to the U.S. recently, and it's sad to say, but us recent third world country Americans don't make the smartest of decisions when it comes to finances, contracts, and such, just because we don't have the advantage in that we're not as knowledgeable in the topics, or knowledgeable in contracts, finances, and English and the New York lingo and those type of topics. So yeah. All right. I don't think it's a Chicano Prophet. Salute, homie. What's good? How's it going? So yeah, I think I couldn't find the duration of the contract, but if it's a short contract, I think that he is doing what he should do in order to get himself a little more popular, get himself a little more money, and maybe get himself a title shot, or just leave with a bigger name and more money and be able to go to another promotional company and be able to get some big fights and become a champion over them under their umbrella. I do think that he can definitely 100% be a champion at some point at the 135 pound, 140, even 147 pound division. The guy is 5'8". Michel Rivera is 5'8". That is, if I'm correct, Mayweather's height. Mayweather fought up to 154, so who knows? Maybe Rivera could do the same thing. Not saying that Rivera is going to be as good as Mayweather. Mayweather is a once in a lifetime talent, but the guy is great, and we don't know how good he is going to be. All right. So moving on to the next topic of conversations. If you guys want to see the topic of conversations and how they lined up, if you go to the video description, you'll see the order of the topics and how I'm gonna go through them in. The last two topics that I will be speaking is Terrence Crawford and his lawsuit, and the WBA and no more regular straps. But I'm gonna switch the order of those two. I'm probably gonna put the WBA and no more regular straps to be the last topic that I speak of today. So the next topic that I am going to, it's a very funny topic if you ask me. So everybody's favorite fighter, everybody's favorite guy to see in the media, you know, the guy who always steals the shine from the boxers that he promotes, the guy that wears 10 huge chains to every event that he's not fighting in. Your favorite boxer, the GOAT of boxing, it depends whose eyes you're looking through, your boy Floyd Money Mayweather. So this guy, not only is he trying to fight on a helipad versus money kicks in Dubai or wherever it is, and also trying to see if he could train Anthony Joshua and whoever else it is that he could train. Oh, and he also opened up a gym in Ohio, a Mayweather boxing gym in Ohio. Pardon the sirens. There's nothing I could do about that. I live in an apartment in New York City, and unfortunately, I do not own a studio that is sound treated where I could stream from. It is what it is, but I guarantee you, La Policia is not coming for me. I am completely safe. You know what I'm saying? They want nothing to do with me. But back to Mayweather. Mayweather is getting sued. On top of everything else going on with the dude, Mayweather is getting sued for endorsing a cryptocurrency. So the cryptocurrency that he's getting sued for endorsing is something called Ethereum Max. Ethereum Max, supposedly it never did anything they promised, but Mayweather endorsed it. He had Ethereum Max on the shorts for his boxing match against Logan Paul. And unfortunately, it seems like that's gonna end up coming to bite him in the ass, because I'm assuming that Ethereum Max gave Mayweather big money for putting their logo and their coin on his shorts. He is now getting sued, and so is Kim Kardashian, because Kim Kardashian also promoted the cryptocurrency on her Instagram. And I guess the dude who is suing, he purchased the Ethereum Max cryptocurrency, and he's from New York, and the shit went south, and they haven't done anything of what they promised to do. So this New Yorker is suing Mayweather and Kim Kardashian. I don't know for how much money. Let's see. I don't really see. Oh. Supposedly, Mayweather was paid $300,000 for promoting these coins. For putting the logo for the coins on his shorts, which is crazy. $300. That's a good amount for an endorsement. I'll take $300. Bro, $300,000. I wear I am stupid sign on my stream. Just $300,000. That's life changing, at least for a dude like me, not Mayweather. For Mayweather, that's chump change. But yes, he's getting sued, and it is what it is, and we'll see how that lawsuit goes. Shit, that lawsuit may be a reason why he's still choosing to fight money kicks, because he needs money to pay that lawsuit and to pay more taxes. I hear Mayweather's in more debt than anybody knows, so whatever. Mayweather and his pockets aren't looking the greatest right now, but unless you guys have anything you'd like to add in the chat. I agree, Chicano. It is a bizarre lawsuit, but it is what it is, you know. And I don't think that the guy's gonna win the lawsuit, to be honest, because who told the New Yorker to go and buy this cryptocurrency? He's the fool. Endorsing something is not saying, yo, buy this, you're gonna make money. People aren't gonna give you financial advice. Like people are not gonna give you stock advice or shit. It's just not going to happen. I do think the lawsuit is stupid as well. And from my opinion, I don't think that this New Yorker is going to win that lawsuit. But let me move on from Mayweather and this Kim Kardashian lawsuit, because it's not much to do with boxing. Only figured I mention it because it has to do with a previous boxer that everybody loves. Your boy Floyd Money Mayweather. let's go on to some news that is just a little slightly more important. Or not much, much more important, because this should be a great fight that's coming up February 19th. February 19th, Amir Kahn versus Kell Brook in Manchester Arena. There's been a lot of trash talk going on back and forth. And I'm not hating on Amir Khan, but he seems to have a hell of a lot of self-belief, especially in his power, something that I've never really seen him to have. He came out saying that on February 19th, he will knock out Kell Brook. I don't see it being a clean knockout if he does knock out Kell Brook. Shit, I honestly don't even see him knocking out Kell Brook. I see that being a if Amir Khan has any chance of knocking out Kell Brook, it'll be a TKO, not a KO, not a one punch KO, a TKO by the ref getting in the middle and stopping it. If it so gets to the point that the ref thinks that that Kell Brook is taking too much damage from Amir Khan, I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. Not trying to hate on Amir Khan. I just don't see him knocking anybody out, not in the top level. A flurry of moderate power punches at high speeds, it's not gonna stop a dude like Kell Brook. Kell Brook has a solid jaw and solid boxing skill. The times that Kell Brook has been stopped was by a lot of power from Errol Spencer's left hand to his orbital bone, and him not being able to open his eye or get much function out of his eye after his orbital bone was broken. And the second time that he was knocked out was by Errol Spence with combinations to body head, and I think that was a TKO as well. And if Terrence Crawford could not stop, Kell Brook by a clear one punch knockout. Let me look this up though. I don't want to talk shit out my ass. But yeah, I just don't see Amir Khan knocking out Kell Brook. That just doesn't seem feasible in my head. A lot of these cryptos don't live up to their promoted utility. No, they don't. That's why cryptos fluctuate so damn much and they're so volatile, because they don't ever do what they promise, and it's never guaranteed that you're going to get your money back. That also was orbital KO. See, there we go. Kell Brook versus what was it? Bud Crawford. He said that was also an orbital bone KO. I don't see Amir Khan having the power to knock out Kell Brook with a one punch knockout, or to break the orbital bone again to put Kell Brook in a situation where he can't continue fighting. If anything, I think that Kell Brook has more of a chance of knocking out Amir Khan. We've seen the chin that Amir Khan has, and we know that the Errol Spence fight was an orbital bone KO. Yeah, for sure. And we all know that Amir Khan has a suspect chin. Him and his suspect chin, that's not necessarily going to be able to sustain power punches. And we know that Kell Brook got power. We know that Kell Brook has great boxing ability, and I do think that Kell Brook's power can definitely stop Amir Khan. I don't think that Amir Khan's power can stop Kell Brook, though. That just seems crazy to me. Yeah, it just seems crazy to me. Yeah, so the Bud Crawford was a clean knockout, a fourth round KO. It wasn't orbital bone. So yeah, look, I think Amir Khan is delusional. And he's saying what he's supposed to say in order to try to sell the fight. I do not see him knocking out Kell Brook in any way whatsoever. The GOAT Mario P says Kahn versus Brook is all a matter of who is the less shot fighter, and I think that's Amir Khan. I don't know. I don't think either one of them are shot. They've just been fighting top opposition. If anything, Kell Brook is probably more damaged goods because of the orbital bone. That's an injury that could reappear at any moment and end a fight at any moment. But I don't think that Amir Khan has the power to break that orbital bone on Kell Brook. So I got Kell Brook winning. I got Kell Brook winning. I don't got Amir Khan winning. And this is Kell Brook's response to Amir Khan, or Kell Brook said it first. Kell Brook vows to be vows that Amir Khan will be a mere memory after this boxing match. I mean, Kahn was a mere memory after he got bleached by Canelo. Kahn has let's go to Box Rec, Amir Khan. Like Amir Khan is a good boxer, don't get me wrong. I just think that Amir Khan loses to all the top level opposition that he's gonna face. No disrespect to Amir Khan, he got fast hands. It's just that he stopped getting better at a certain point and started depending on the speed of his hands. When he started depending on the speed of his hands, that's when it all went downhill for Amir Khan. But yeah, so Amir Khan lost against Crawford. He lost against Canelo. He lost against Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson, and he lost against Bradis Prescott. He's lost against top level opposition, yes, but every time he makes it to the top level, he's gonna lose. Javier Avila says against Triple G was an orbital bone too. Yeah, Triple G definitely washed Kell Brook up, but Kell Brook went very high in weight to fight Triple G. I don't know if he should have done that. Triple G definitely demonstrated the beast and the power in him in that fight. I definitely look. I have Kell Brook winning this fight. Amir Khan, he may have little moments where his hand speed is going to make a difference, and he may have moments where he's going to look like he's winning the fights and doing good in trading combos. But I think that Kell Brook is just way more technically sound and savvy. His fundamentals are super on point, and Kell Brook has an amazing jab and straight. And I think that that's just going to help keep Amir Khan at bay. I really think it's going to help keep Amir Khan at bay. Amir Khan has a 71-inch reach, and Kell Brook has a 69-inch reach. Okay, that could help Amir Khan too. He has a higher reach than Kell Brook does, but Kell Brook has a better fundamentals. Like I said, the better jab, the better cross right hand. When Amir Khan, he starts trying to throw these punches with speed, he'll be lined up the right way, and then he'll start throwing punches, and you'll see he'll get squared up and box up. He's like, and his whole full body will be lined up, where his body could get destroyed with body shots, and his chin could get damaged big time. So yeah, that fight could end at any moment with a KO against Amir Khan, not necessarily with a KO against Kell Brook, unless that orbital bone gets aggravated, which, like I said, I don't really believe it. I don't fully see that happening because I don't think that Amir Khan has the power to aggravate that orbital bone. And now I will put this topic to rest. I look forward to the fight. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be one of the first really good fights of this year. Like, we started the year with Charles Martin. You know? I mean, he did get knocked out and badly washed, but yeah. So let's go over and speak about everybody's champ, the person who everybody wanted to see knock out your boy Tank Davis, or Mayweather's boy Tank Davis. Tank Davis has definitely been losing a lot of popularity as of recently because of his level of opposition. His last pay-per-view sold much less. I mean, it was on a Sunday, and that is stupid. But yeah, I just I don't know why he did that on Sunday. And the person I'm talking about that would face or was trying to face Tank Davis and had gotten the opportunity was Rolly Romero. So his opportunity against Tank Davis ended because he got into some type of lawsuit situation where he was being accused of some type of sexual assault against some females. That court case has been thrown out. That court case, or apparently, according to Rolly Romero, the court case is over. and Rolly Romero no longer has to deal with that court case and with his name being slandered. But unfortunately, very unfortunately, it took his one and only big opportunity away from him. Wow, some more bad news comes in. Shit's crazy. Um, it takes his opportunity, or not takes, it took his opportunity away from him because I do not see Rolly Romero getting another shot against Tank Davis. The reason Rolly Romero was getting that shot against Tank Davis was because Rolly Romero, I think, was a mandatory for the WBA regular, and Tank Davis has the WBA regular, and therefore he had to fight him, and he was going to fight him as his next fight. But then the situation happened with the lawsuit against Rolly, and Rolly had to pull out of the fight. I think that sucks for Rolly, and unfortunately, it takes away his biggest opportunity that I do not see coming back to the plate. I do not see him getting the opportunity again against Tank Davis. That would have been a big money fight, a big showcase type of fight that I'm sure he would have lost, or whoever or whatever. He got the puncher's chance, as we all know, the puncher's chance, but I'm sure he would have lost that fight against Tank. But that was a big chance for big money, pay-per-view. Oh, yeah, it was going to be a pay-per-view. I think it could have potentially been maybe more exciting than the fight against Isaac Cruz, because Isaac Cruz is kind of short-armed. Yeah, he did some things that made the fight against against Tank Davis look challenging, but I don't know. Supposedly Davis hurt his hand. I mean, there was a picture where his hand looked super swollen. I don't know. See, I just think that if Davis would have hurt his hand against a dude like Riley, who is much, 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 much bigger than a dude like Isaac Cruz and has much higher reach, the chances of potentially getting hit with a good power punch when Tank Davis's hand got hurt, I think that would have been much higher. And the chances of us seeing some crazy intense stuff on TV would have been possible if a fight between Riley and Tank would have happened, and Tank would have hurt his hand in that fight as well. But we don't know if that's the case because, as we all know, Isaac Cruz got a big, hard head. Pause. Off the Ropes Boxing and MMA says his possible opponents for Rolly are Tank, Ryan Garcia, and Isaac Cruz. The thing is, I could see Rolly getting any of those fights. The thing is that Rolly doesn't necessarily have a resume, and these fighters don't really have anything to gain from Rolly or boxing Rolly. Tank was only gonna box Rolly because Rolly don't stop talking shit, and Tank was gonna put Rolly to shame. That's the only reason Tank was gonna take that fight, because Rolly looks like an easy opponent to take advantage of. Rolly doesn't look like he just swings for the fences. He just does these haymakers. He doesn't look skillful like that, especially not against Yigit, who was probably the best opponent he's faced. So, Tank would potentially fight him again if he has to, but guess what? Tank is going to potentially be forced to leave the WBA regular title, and unfortunately, the Rolly's chances are over because I don't see who Rolly is going to be a mandatory for anymore. Rolly got to climb them ranks at 135 pounds if he wants to become a mandatory and get a title shot or a shot against a big name. It is what it is. Ryan Garcia can come back to boxing and fight whoever he so pleases. As much as we say he's been lying, as he took the year off and everything that he has been doing, Ryan has a name in boxing. Ryan has a following. Ryan, I'm not going to say he demands big money when he goes in there to fight, but Ryan can demand big money. He demands a big viewership. There we go. So why would Ryan fight Rolly? Rolly has nothing to offer to Ryan. I mean, I would love to see the fight, though, just because I saw the sparring sessions between Riley and Ryan Garcia when they were young, and I thought that those sparring sessions were very intense, very heated, very back and forth, with Rolly trying to break a rib on Ryan and Ryan boxing Rolly's head off, and it was beautiful. So I would love to see that fight, but I don't see it happening. Isaac Cruz, I don't see Isaac Cruz taking that fight either. Isaac Cruz ain't got shit to gain from Rolly. Isaac Cruz is a better fighter than Rolly, and Isaac Cruz is trying to grow in popularity. Rolly is more popular than him, but I don't think that knocking out Rolly gets him or beating up Rolly gets him anything. If anything, fighting higher opposition or dudes that are supposedly on the level of Tank Davis would do it for a guy like Isaac Cruz. So I don't know. I think Rolly's big shot opportunity for the moment is done, and it sucks, and I feel bad for the individual because it shouldn't just be done and over like that, but it is what it is. He decided to get into some nonsense in his personal life, and therefore, due to the nonsense that he decided to get in, he lost his shot against Tank and may have lost his current shot at, hyper fame. And what I mean by hyper fame is the accelerated advanced track to fame and popularity as a boxer and to becoming a name that people actually want to fight and not a name that people don't care about. Unfortunately, is over for Raleigh. I wish him the best, and I wish they could get a fight in the future. Ooh. I think we're moving on to the big topics of the day. Let me just verify that yes, we are the big topics of the day. Terrence Crawford suing Top Rank, and Raleigh, and the WBA getting rid of regular straps. I think I'm gonna actually leave the order that it's in, and I'm gonna go to WBA no more regular straps, and then go to Terrence Crawford sues Top Rank last. But what I will do that I never do is I'm gonna share a link if one of you guys wants to join this show, Maestro Off the Ropes Chicano, let me know, or anybody else that would like to join that's gonna be respectful and have some good positive comments and views. D-Style also, any of you guys that want to join, I'm gonna share the link right now and you guys can join me. All right, copied. Okay, there you go. The link is up. All right, so to one of my best topics of the day, probably what everyone has been waiting for. The WBA announced back in October that it is gonna work to get rid of It's going to work to get rid of the WBA regular straps, because with the WBA regular straps, it has caused lots of confusion. With the WBA regular belt, it has caused lots of confusion. It had people like Tank chasing fame and money off of chasing regular titles and calling themselves champs. And it just caused a lot of issues and arguments in boxing, which the WBA seems like they're trying to get rid of. Not like the WBC, which was Suleiman, who's trying to continue adding belts and nonsense and divisions and backing up his stupid visions to boxing fans. So, in getting rid of the WBA regular straps, what they have done is they started mandating fights between the WBA regular title holders and the WBA super title holders. Most recently, the WBA regular title king, aka your boy Tank Davis, who only chases WBA regular titles, he had the WBA regular for the 140-pound division, which he won against Mario Barrios, and then he had the WBA regular in the 135-pound division, which I forgot who he won against. Whatever. The case being, the WBA forced him to, or not forced him, Tank Davis left the WBA regular 140-pound belt. He left it behind because they said that he was going to have to fight the WBA super. So he had the WBA regular belt at 140 and 135 pounds. He would have to fight the WBA super champ at 140 and 135 pounds if he held on to both belts, meaning that he would have to fight Josh Taylor at 140 and George Cambosis at 135 in the year of 2022 in order for them to determine who is going to be the WBA super champ and for them to get rid of the regular belt, because there will be no regular belt in the 135 after that situation. Davis left his 140-pound belt, which means he's not trying to move up in weight. He's not trying to fight Josh Taylor. He knows that he's a smaller dude and should stay at 130 and 135 and fight those dudes. And that the going up to 140 pounds to fight Mario Barrios was all a gimmick situation to try to continue his money grab. But the fans have started to notice. They started to see the situation. And he didn't get that much support against Isaac Cruz, and I don't think that situation versus against Mario Barrios and the regular title worked to do anything for him. Now it seems, George Cambosis is saying that he's gonna fight in May in Australia for a big fight, and Leonard Ellerby said, well, we're not gonna pay fighters. We're not gonna pay for Tank to fight fighters that you think are good, you being the general public, that doesn't have anything to offer and can't put fans in the stands. We're not going to be overpaying fighters. That's what he said about George Cambosis. Excuse me, pardon about that. That's what he said about George Cambosis, saying that George Cambosis is a small, no money fighter, not deserving, and about the fight in Australia. So what that tells me, so they've let me just clear this up a little more. They vacated the 140 WBA regular title, so they don't have to fight Taylor. Makes sense because Taylor's a bigger guy. It makes sense why he wouldn't want to fight Taylor. Taylor's a much bigger challenge for Tank Davis, and potentially a big loss on Tank Davis's record if he was to fight Taylor. Taylor's very, 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 very good. And then you have George Cambosis, a guy that can actually pose an actual threat, that can actually potentially beat that can potentially actually beat Tank Davis. You know, like George Cambosis is better than anybody that Tank Davis has ever fought, or at least he looks better after eye test off of what I've seen that he did against Teofimo Lopez. That Teofimo Lopez brought George Cambosis all the way up. Everybody expected Teofimo Lopez to win. We don't know if that was fully associated with skill or with Teofimo Lopez not having a strong mind and going a little weak on us and taking all the criticism and going in there and trying to knock him out in the first round. But at the end of the day, we have to give George Cambosis the credit that he deserves for beating Teofimo Lopez on a lopsided win. He washed Teofimo Lopez. He ain't knock him out and bleach him, but he washed him. He had him in that washing machine getting beat up by all the sides, whatever the case may be. Cambosis should be, he's talking about he's setting up for a big fight in May. I thought that big fight was going to be against Devin Haney, which he could set up against Devin Haney and keep the try to become undisputed. I think that'd be the best route. But who knows? Maybe it could be Tank Davis in May if he's trying to gain more money and popularity and not necessarily go get the last belt, which I don't know. Honestly, I can't really tell where George Cambosis' head is at. I hope to see him against Haney first, and then the winner again versus Haney and Cambosis could take that Tank Davis fight, unless Tank Davis, Leonard Ellerby, and Mayweather decide to be a bunch of punk bitches and decide to not let Tank Davis have this fight versus Cambosis. Like, there's no reason to not let Tank Davis have this fight, and it's gonna show a lot of bitch assness it's gonna show a lot of bitch assness in Leonard Ellerby, Mayweather Promotions, Al Heyman, Money Mayweather, and all of them if they don't allow him to have this fight against Cambosis. It's just gonna be complete nonsense, because if he doesn't have the fight versus Cambosis in 2022, the WBA regular title is gone, and he wants to remain a champion. And if you get a shot against a guy that you say is very beatable, that everybody says is very beatable, and has 3 belts and could make a huge big money fight in Australia, what are you doing? What the hell are we talking about? Well, why aren't you going to go take this big money fight in Australia to go take the 3 belts that this gentleman has, Cambosis, to make yourself a lot of money and a bigger name and a more on-demand fighter to potentially bring back your whole pay-per-view star nonsense that you was talking about? Why not? Why not? I hope for Leonard Ellerby's sake, for Mayweather Promotions, for Tank Davis's sake, for Mayweather's sake, for all their sake, that they do not block this fight from happening. But as I said, Devin Haney and Cambosis needs to happen first, so we get a true undisputed at 135, and then whoever wins that fight, Tank will be lucky to get a fight against them due to this WBA trying to get rid of the regular title shift and them mandating title fights between the WBA Super and the WBA regular. If Tank Davis decides to give up the belt, then there will be no more WBA regular in that 135-pound division, just like there is no more at the 140-pound division. And then Tank Davis pretty much loses all his shot at a championship fight in today's climate, because he's been ducking and dodging people forever, although people still want to fight him because of the big money fight, the Mayweather thing, the big money Mayweather fight. Whatever though, right? I'm glad that the WBA is getting rid of all these tournaments. They call what the WBA is calling it is a box off tournament to get rid of the WBA regular. I'm very glad that, and this information came straight from the WBA's website, you know. So yeah, let's I think we could move on from that topic, leave that behind, and yeah, Tank needs to take that fight versus Cambosis if he gets the opportunity, or versus Haney, whichever one of them wins that fight, because I think the undisputed fight needs to happen first. And if Tank doesn't take that fight, I feel bad for him, his career, and his viewers, gaslighting everybody that he's a champ if he's not actually gonna, you know, fight and box like a champ and just be on the sidelines and only looking for money and in boxing and for money for the money team. Like, we don't care about giving you guys money, we care about good boxing. So whatever, let's move on. Let's leave Tank Davis and his regular titles in the past. I'm very happy for the WBA. WBC needs to follow suit, and we need to really make boxing in Donald Trump words again. And I'm not a Trump supporter, but we need to make boxing great again and remove all this fluff and all this extra bullshit that's currently occurring. Yeah, so moving on. I do not know why my green screen is doing that right now. All the graininess behind. Whatever. All right, let's keep it moving. Our last and final comment. Terrence Crawford is suing, and I love this. I fucking love it. Terrence Crawford is suing the Top Rank Promotions and Bob Arum. And I love the fact that he's doing so, because they deserve to be sued. And that's a fact, if you ask me. Terrence Crawford signed 2 different contracts with Top Rank. When Terrence Crawford left the first contract with Top Rank, there we go. When Terrence Crawford left the first contract with Top Rank, he left that. Oh no, he didn't leave the first contract. When the first contract ended with Top Rank, he re-signed the second contract with Top Rank. That was for another 2 or 3 years. He signed the first contract ended in 2018 sometime. The first contract ended in 2018 sometime, and the second contract ended now. Ended recently. So I would have never re-signed with Top Rank after the first situation where they was promising him the Spence fight, promising him a bunch of stuff, promising greatness to make him a pay-per-view star if he signed under Top Rank. And then when he does re-sign under Top Rank, Top Rank and Bob Arum wants to say that, oh, he's not a lucrative fighter. He's not a lucrative fighter. And I can't be spending money to promote a fight where I'm not going to make money from. He's not lucrative. He's not a pay-per-view star. He barely has a viewing. So why would you sign him? Why would you promise him that you can make him a pay-per-view star? Why would you, like, Bob Arum deserves this lawsuit. and I hope that he loses the lawsuit and that Terrence Crawford wins the $10 million that he's suing Top Rank over. Chicano Prophet says, very interesting news. I'm curious to see how this will play out. I'm also curious to see how it plays out, brother. I'm really hoping that Crawford wins this $10 million lawsuit that he has against Top Rank. So let me read some of the things that is being said. Crawford is suing Top Rank, saying that they have systemic racism that runs all through Top Rank, and that's why they were unable to properly promote black fighters under Top Rank. Arum and Todd Dubuff, who are Todd Dubuff is like his son-in-law, something like that, have horrible treatment for black fighters and minority fighters too. Because I don't know if you guys remember the nonsense that Bob Arum and Top Rank were saying about Teofimo Lopez when Teofimo Lopez had all the belts. Like, how does that even make sense, Bob Arum? Shut your fucking pie hole. The plantation owner is clearly running the plantation well to have people believing that he cares about all fighters equally, because that's false nonsense. Another quote, or a first quote. Arum clearly allows his revolting racial bias to impact the fighters he is obliged to promote. I think we all noticed that with Teofimo Lopez. I think we all noticed that with Terrence Crawford, and there's been other fighters. You don't really see Bob Arum hate. All right. So people who have the names of the caliber of Terrence Crawford and Teofimo Lopez that have gone undisputed at 140, that Teofimo almost undisputed at 135. Teofimo with his very young career and the insane stuff that he was doing with the age that he had, and Terrence Crawford going undisputed at 140, moving up to 147, chasing belts at 147, and being a great fighter and being undefeated and fighting the bigger opposition and everything. And for Bob Arum to say that he can't make these guys pay-per-view stars, like, that's a joke. That's a joke. I think that the Spence Crawford fight would have been made a long time ago, if Bob Arum wasn't only desperate on making money off of people instead of promoting them, which is what he should be doing. See, for Bob Arum, it didn't make sense to promote these fights and these fighters and that they weren't big name fighters, because guess what? Because Bob Arum wasn't making most of the money off of these fights. Off of the fights that was going to be made off of the money, the fighter would have to get paid big money because they have a big name and lots of belts and then a great history of what they've done in boxing and command the money. Bob Arum wants to keep the money for himself and doesn't want to pay these fighters. So he's going to say, oh, well, these guys don't have a name. Or hold on, let me get my Bob Arum voice. Well, these guys... No, that's not like I had it on point earlier. Now it's not working out. I'm gonna practice that for you. Next time I come back, I'm gonna have that on point for you guys. But keeping it moving. Another quote from the New York Post. For years, professional boxers and others in the sports world have called out Top Rank owner Bob Arum for his disparate treatment of black boxers, including those very same black boxers that Top Rank is contractually obligated to promote. Yeah, see, it continues forward. It's like, right, so after Terrence Crawford and Bob Arum split, Bob Arum said, well, that he was still going to try to make the fight with Terrence Crawford as a free agent, and Terrence Crawford came and said that if Bob Arum couldn't get him the Terrence, the Errol Spence fight when he was signed to him, how is Bob Arum going to get him the Errol Spence fight now that he's a free agent? Bob Arum isn't giving anybody the Errol Spence fight. Bob Arum only cares about his own pockets. These promotional companies are all doing horrible things for the fighters. That being, PBC, that being Top Rank, and Golden Boy Promotions. Shit, the only people that I see doing right by their fighters is Matchroom. That's why Eddie Hearns, the greatest. He's the greatest. He should be, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. The Muhammad Ali words. That should be Eddie Hearn as a promoter, the greatest. Because all these other guys are jokes. And I'm not talking about the greatest of all time. I'm talking about the greatest right now. I definitely feel that Bob Arum has some type of racism in his heart and his soul, because some of the shit that he be saying doesn't make sense. Like, I know for a fact, I know this is a fact. Me, I don't buy, I barely buy pay-per-view fights because I'm not necessarily, whatever. My reason for not buying pay-per-view fights doesn't matter. But I'm gonna start buying pay-per-view fights on the regular simply because I need to watch them in clear quality and be able to speak to you individuals about it all. But I would 1000% hands down buy a pay-per-view between Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I'd pay $100 for that pay-per-view. They'd be charging $70, $75 right now. I'd pay $100 for the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence pay-per-view. So this nonsense about, oh, he's not a pay-per-view fighter, oh, the fight won't sell, there's no money to be made. Bro, you put Terrence Crawford and Spence on pay-per-view fighting each other, and I guarantee they're gonna make close. They're gonna make over 500,000 pay-per-views. Over. They're gonna be close to those Canelo numbers. Everybody has been waiting for this fight for such a long time. People have been waiting for this fight. Like, I'd rather see this fight than see Canelo beat up anybody right now. Canelo could fight Joe. Matter of fact, Canelo better be if that's a good fight. But still, I still rather see this fight with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I think everybody feels that way. We've been waiting for this forever. Off the Rope says, very true. Arum rather make Josh Taylor versus Crawford than Spence versus Crawford. Yeah, that's like the shit don't make sense to me. The shit's a joke. Like, I understand that Top Rank and PBC and cross-promotional type of contracts are very difficult. I get it, but stop the jokes. The amount of money that would be made on this fight would be outrageous. Yes, $100 pay-per-view would sell for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. It's that simple. Hands down, it would sell. So, yeah, and ending it here, I do think, or ending it soon, I do feel that Top Rank is definitely has a racist history. He doesn't fully show it. He just shows promoters be greedy as fuck. Yeah, promoters are the greediest. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the fighters. Promoters care about their own pockets, not the fighters. They care about their well-being, not the well-being of the fighters. At the end of the day, you have to invest in your stock. You have to invest in your business. And for these promotional companies, their business are the boxers. Without boxers, there is no promotional company. So why are you not investing in your business and making sure that your business can grow, your promotional company can grow? It makes no sense. Invest in these fighters. You do not need the maximum bank as a promoter. If anything, the person who needs maximum bank is the person getting in the ring and fighting. As a promoter, you should be getting minimal bank, percentage type of banks. You should make your money. Obviously, the first thing that, as a promoter, the first thing that should come back out of a fight is the promoter should get their money back. After the promoter gets their money back, they should pay the fighter. After that, they figure out what the promotional company should get. And you know, it's stupid that Top Rank is still doing this to minority fighters. It's hard for me to believe, and it's heartbreaking. Top Rank, the plantation, and Bob Arum, the plantation owner. Let's hopefully get some changes here. Let's hopefully these people stop being greedy. We need more people like Eddie Hearn around. Eddie Hearn sees the big picture. These other businessmen are trash businessmen. They don't really know how to do business. But Eddie Hearn sees the big picture. He's handling great business. He's getting these fighters paid, and he's getting paid himself, and he's getting these promotional companies paid. You know, all praise be to Eddie Hearn. No, but seriously, Eddie Hearn is the greatest promoter right now. Top Rank they've been doing good in promoting some fights and making some fights happen, and they definitely have a better schedule than PBC for this coming year. But they need to stop underpaying fighters, especially those of minority descent, black fighters, Latino fighters. They need to stop it. It's a joke. And I think that is it for today. I stand on the side of Terrence Crawford. I stand on the side of the WBA. I stand on the side of Michel Rivera. I stand on the side of Kell Brook, not Amir Kahn. And I do hope that Romero gets a shot at some point. But he has to fight some people, you know. It is what it is. Whatever. At this point, I am all talked out. I've gone through my topics. I've streamed for about an hour now, which is my minimal stream, or what I tried to make my minimal stream time. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. You guys all have an amazing day, amazing evening. Stay healthy, stay sharp, and stay happy. I'll see you guys all next week for No Cap Boxing. I may go on before then. Obviously, I may go on a couple times. I'm trying to build this. I'm really learning on this YouTube thing and getting better. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll support all your channels as well. You already know. Thank you all for the support. If you don't already, please subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you for tuning in. Maestro says thank you for a great show. Thank all of you for having me. You guys all have a blessed day. Be good, man. Peace. From my heart. Oh, one last time before I go. Shout out to HCP, Los Hermanos Causando Pánico. Shout out to Maestro A Boxing, D Style Boxing, B, which is a ringside reporter. Shout out to all these dudes doing the thing right, showing love. I appreciate y'all. Y'all all take care and have a good evening. I'm glad that I could make the end of the work day tolerable. Peace, man. You guys take care. Mad love, always. That should just kick me out. All right, mad love, always. Peace.